Yes, everyone, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Another video here from the Tokyo Real Estate Man. And we start here on today's video at looking at Japan. Where we're going to end up, we're going to look in Shonan. We're going to look at Chigasaki, which is really the best area of Shonan. And this is a great page. You see Chigasaki right here on the Shonan coast. And what are we doing on this channel? We're trying to be intelligent buyers if we're interested in Japan real estate, right? And we want to be in the best areas. And this is one of them. And you really have to follow this trend following. You have to, what's happening in Japan? We have the backdrop of the population going down. However, we know that the Tokyo population is going up. And the more popular neighborhoods, like you see here at Chigasaki, the most popular neighborhoods right now, they're going up in value. If you go into central Tokyo, you go to Nakameguro, you go to Shibuya, you go to any of those Sangenjaya, you see that those places, the value of the real estate is going up. Why? Because it's the best neighborhoods and the best sort of, you want to position yourself where the Japanese want to be. So they don't want to be in the poor or not the poor, like the weaker neighborhoods. They want to be in the better neighborhoods, and that's where you want to position yourself. And this is where Chigasaki is, right there. You can always see it. I can already see it. I lived in Japan so long. I can already see it in this video, and the quality of the dress that people are wearing, and the quality of the station, how nice it is, and stuff like that. So you can just see it. It's the telltale signs are all around. We're not even at the beach yet. This is just going to be. Let's skip up here and let's have a look where the video takes us. Again, the video bloggers are giving us such help as they're going walking around the best neighborhoods here in the Tokyo area, and they're just yeah, I can just see it everywhere because it's a nice car. Is that is that even like I said, it's a Volkswagen? It's not even a Japanese car. It's called a Geisha. Okay, that of course a Toyota. But yeah, it's a great neighborhood, and we're not even down near the beach yet. This is just sort of near the station. Are we gonna? Is he going to bring us down to the beach? Maybe he's not. Could be like just a walk around uh, the town here, which is there's going to be basically everything. What is this? This is some sort of like a yakyoku, which is a place to get your prescriptions and stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, Chigasaki is uh, near the beach, but it really has everything you'd like and you'll need there. Anyway, let's stop this video here, and we'll cut here to the map. And I've done really one. I was studying this map earlier today, and I've done a really key restriction on this one, and that's to do with. By the way, the first thing, my first comment about this map, and I really love this page at home, and we see the rainbow of colors, and we don't see too much red, but we do see a couple of reds here, some oranges and yellows as you get down here near the beach. Okay, but we do see a pretty wide distribution. We don't see all blue. When we see all blue, we know that we have a broken market. And one of the things that came up first in my first sort of search, okay, when I did the first search, I didn't put a parking restriction on it, but in an area like this, it is a really car-based system area. You just don't want to be involved with any real estate in housing that does not have a parking spot. Now, why is that? Now, here, this is the first place I looked up, which was the cheapest sort of sample in the market, and we see it here for 1,590 mon. Now, to understand housing in 2025 Japan, you have to understand that there's a transition that's made in Japan from about 1975 to 1985 when people move their how they shop. They move their shopping in the 1960s and the 1970s. Shopping is done on bicycles, okay? And parking space is less important. However, with the K car that comes in from the mid 1970s to the 1980s, okay, uh, the designs of the houses change. This sort of space where you see a ramp for the bicycles ends up being dug out and known as the hanchiku, and this becomes a parking spot. Okay, so when you're buying a spot, it's no different in a way that, for example, the toilets were made lower in the 1960s than there were now in the 2025s because people were shorter. So when you buy something that's old, you got to replace the toilet because the scale of the people are different. It's in the same way. This sort of design here was built. Uh, this one is built in 1975, and it has a bike ramp. But what happens? The system changes in 1985. This sort of space where I'm circling the mouse right now ends up being the driveway. So when you're buying a thing like this, it's no different than buying a Volkswagen bus. I have a Volkswagen bus, or you can have a Nike in the 2025 Delica. The 2025 Delica is the one that's going to run smoother for today's world. It's no different. This is an antique house, and so in a way, the land here is valuable. Um, but if you want to keep this house, it's just no good. It's just a relic. So you might as well go a little bit more. For $40,000, you can go up market and get everything that this sort of Japanese market wants. This house is going to be very difficult to sell in some way. Someone might buy it. You could punch back to me and say that like this house is good too. It's the same as sort of buying an apartment, and that's a decent punchback. But you're better to spend a little bit more and get everything. It's not a terrible house from the inside, and there's indeed a family there is living in it. But I would say that we have to be a more intelligent buyer, and we understand that there's a transition in the 1980s to the K car, and that's why the Shotengai or the shopping street dies. Okay, and you can go to Tokamachi when I was just there. Okay, and you'll see there's a beautiful Shotengai from the 1970s that no one really goes to because they don't shop like that anymore. They shop with their K cars. That's the key development in Japan. And understanding that is key to understanding the real estate. Okay, what did I do here? I got to get back on. I got to get back on topic. I picked a couple of examples here. Oh, this was the example here, the one for Easton Gokyakujuman, for something that I would say that you don't want to get, and where you want to get is to move up market just slightly more. And this was, if this can actually kick up, I thought it was kicking it up. And this, yeah, but it is, yeah, you're right. You could punch back at me. You're like, well, Bruce took your risk, man. You're picking stuff that's double the price. And yeah, you're right. But this is the best neighborhoods that you want to be. This one too. I know. I looked at this house. This house did not have parking. This did not have parking, I believe. It said it did, but then when I checked, what happened? I got suspicious because the lot was saying here, or the listing was saying here that it had parking. But when I looked at this picture right now, I could see that there's a sort of containment wall from this other house around it. And I thought, oh, I think they're lying. I don't think that. And I looked through all the pictures here. And I didn't see any sort of, I saw a backyard and everything like this, but there was no list mentioned in the pictures or the listing, excuse me, that there's a parking spot, which would no 100% normally happen. And then I came down here to the map, and I could see that this house is totally captured. It's in the sea in the middle of all these other houses, and I could see, oh, there's no parking spot there. Okay, so what does this tell us? This tells us how popular this neighborhood is. It tells us how popular this neighborhood is, and they sort of modeled the inside and everything, so that it's really nice. But you can see that it's captured in between everything else, and there's no parking spot. So in a way, you're 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 buying double the lemon. It's double the price of this cheaper one without a parking spot. Granted, its location near the beach down there is in a more popular area, but in a way, this is even worse decision. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'm carrying on here. Now, this is a space that was not it's not located uh, as well as the one that we just looked at, but this one at least has the parking spot, and in that way, at least is going to link itself or hook itself into the 2025 systems. Okay, anyway, let's look at this one. I thought this was a good example, and this was not a blue dot but a green dot. Okay, and it was located in a pretty good location, but up the escarpment. Anyway, let's go through these pictures. And we can see it's an old house, but we see there it has a parking spot. So even though I'm going to speculate, this house was built I haven't looked at the details. I'm going to say that it was built in 1978. Okay. and this is kind of an older, but you got a new kitchen. It's a little tired. It's not new, but it's a nice bathroom, laundry hookups. It definitely. I see. What have they done? Let's imagine. I just said it before. The toilets used to be lower because the people were shorter. So when you sit on the toilet, it actually feels a little uncomfortable because the scale of your body has changed. Okay, and they've updated the toilet here because the old toilet was just too out of date. Look at this. Look at this panel though. That's got like a super washlet on there. Super washlet. But yeah, the new toilets in Japan are great. And you can, if you do buy a house, you can usually pay, uh, I think it's about $1,000 or $1,200, and they'll come and take the old toilet, dump it out, and put a new one in. So yeah, for 100,000 yen, generally speaking, there's a new Genkan door. That's what they're telling you right there. That's a sliding Genkan door. Genkan, of course, is entryway. There's a roof balcony. This is a great system. Okay, so for you to dry your laundry. Don't forget, in Japan, okay, people are drying laundry outside. But yeah, I mean, it's tatami rooms. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not the most attractive place. Obviously, we can always see what were they doing well in this one house here that I kind of kicked it down because it didn't have a parking spot. They've got it updated to 2025, so it's going to appeal to some sort of segment in the Japanese marketplace. So, but I'm thinking that you can be a more intelligent buyer. You can see they got nicer flooring and they're using colors like this. You could bring all this into to this house that I'm talking about here. You can easily do all this, like bring the flooring in and paint it up nicer and make it more contemporary. Easily. That's not hard to sort of do. Anyway, I'll come down here to the details of the listing. We see this is basically just mentioning like its distance here from, I guess this is from Kaurikawa station, 8 minutes from the station. If the station really matters here, because this is going to be a car-based sort of system, 2 toilets here. All the systems in the house are working, 3 gas, a system kitchen with a 3 sort of burners on the stove, which is considered like better than 2, for example. 92 meters of land, 88 meters of internal space. So everything's being maximized. What did I say? Did I say 1978? I was a little wrong. Okay, 1985. But you can already talk about, look what we're talking about here. There's now magic. Okay, I just lived in Japan. I'm not some sort of genius. I lived in Japan. 30 years, and what do? I like fitness, okay? I like fitness, and I like to go for a walk every day, and I love real estate. And when I would go for a walk, I would just look around, and I would say, oh, that house there has parking. Like, it would just make sense to me. And then I would walk in my wife's hometown, and I'd be walking along the Shotengai, and I'd be like, oh, this is so sad that no one is shopping there. And I think, oh, that must be because they can't bring their cars there and stuff like that. And then the shopping changes because people are starting to use their cars. And what else changes? In 1985, this house has a parking spot for cars. Shoryuken ownership, okay, has a parking spot. It is currently vacant. We can look here, come here to the details of the listing. I'll back out here a little bit so you can see that it's not that close to the beach, okay? Okay, so the beach is down here more, okay? So the more we know that the red pill stuff, okay, the expensive stuff is down here near the beach, okay? However, this is not a bad thing because what happens, you don't know this, I've mentioned this in other videos, okay? On the weekends, when everyone wants to come here down to the beach, what happens? There comes this huge traffic jam from Tokyo. And I've been in it many times. I've been in it many times, and sometimes I just take the train when I want to go to Shonan or Chigasaki because I don't want to like, oh, but it's so fun to take your car because when you come home, you can go to the nice restaurants when you're driving. But what happens? What happens? All these people come in from Tokyo to go to the beach, okay? And this gets all jammed up in here in terms of a parking jam. And because of this ocean here, it creates this barrier where no one can escape from. So what happens if you live here and you like to go to the beach? If you have an e-bike, for example, you could just keep your car parked here at home, cruise on down here to the beach, not have to deal with any of this traffic jam stuff, and then cruise on back, okay, uh, on your e-bike. And then, you know, like, so the distance away from the beach can be a strategic advantage because of this huge mammoth of a city of Tokyo that is just up here to the right, and how behavior of the weekend sort of affects this area. So in a way, this is an intelligent pickup though because it's away from it. Anyway, um, I'll come in here a little bit closer. I'll try to get this Google Maps golden guy closer to this house so you can see the character of this neighborhood. But what's it going to be? It's going to be like a Japanese, just a Japanese suburban. Uh, Come on, Google Maps, golden guy. This is kind of a cool video topics to do today, by the way, which is a little bit the fun part of it too, which is like the history of Japan, but not the history with the politics and all the bullshit of all these stupid uh, leaders and everything. Oh, did I actually land us right in front of the house? I certainly did. Okay, it's got to do with like the people and how what they want in their life. Okay, not the social programmers and stuff like that. Anyhow, you can see this is it here, and you can see the character. Oh, look at that across the street. What do we have here? Relatively new build. Okay, this built here in 1985. What do we have here? This one is already getting a little beat up. Here, done from the 1990s. Oh, there's the house right there, but what's there? A parking spot right here, right here. Here's a house here built in the uh, 19 late 1960s. Okay, but what are they going to do different from today? They're going to get rid of if you were to take this is still a decent lot because what would happen today? They would just tear the thing down. Sorry, like this I did these houses from before are not a good idea in some ways because they're not efficient. Like guys, sorry Anton, I know you're my friend too, but like they talk about oh come and get DIY these old shit homes. They're like a stupid design. Because what are they going to do now? They're going to use the same space. They're going to put a driveway in there so the people that are going to get are going to have the convenience of at least a K car, okay? And they're going to raise the house. They're going to raise the house to a higher level, and it'll just going to be a nicer house. It's going to be using the space more intelligent in more intelligent ways. Now, these people in the post-war who built this house, they didn't have a choice because there was a bunch of shit. All they had was these shoddy materials they could have at this time. But we're more intelligent now. You can see in the 90s they were building a better house. And then if we were to move down or through this neighborhood, this house gets even nicer. Here, this one is built probably in the early 2000s. Everything gets nicer because everyone gets smarter. Okay, and this was built in 1985, and you can see that right now they would build a way nicer house in that spot, like this one right here. It's just a nicer. It's just this done. It's just done. Even the how people are doing in terms of the colors is the color mixing and the quality of the glass is just better. So that's why people are going to these sort of newer houses. However, this does have the sort of at least the value of the layout of this land is very very good, and that you'd have sort of opportunities to resell it. Okay, whereas if you go into the weaker neighborhoods of countryside Japan, in for example, just in Tokamachi, if you have an old house that you bought there, no one's ever going to buy it. You just have made a stupid decision, and you have no sort of uh, there's no sort of U-turn ability on the stupid decision that you made. Anyhow, that's why we have this channel because we know that you come by your money hard, okay, and that you just have to make intelligent decisions. Anyways, beyond the intelligent decisions, this is a great area. Chigasaki. Is there anything else we could look at? We could come back here to the master map, and you know what? Let's kick up one of these samples here. Let's do this green. We could just look at the price of this red one that's near the beach. Okay, there you go. 2.2 million. Ni oku ni senman. Okay, that's 2.2. So we know the red pill. This red pill might be even like, what is this? Isen or ichioku ni senman. Okay, we could look at that one. Let's look at something that's more decently priced. We could kick off this orange one, which is going to be probably like Hasenman. What do we got? I was right, Hasenman. But let's come up here. Let's look at this green one here. That is going to be about 600,000, or what? I'm overestimating. This one here was for Yonsen Nihyo. Come on, let's kick it up and have a look at it. This was right near the beach. I haven't looked at any of this stuff. Let's look at it right now, fresh. We can look at it fresh. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have? We have a very nice diagram. What are they putting in there? A car. It has everything. So this is a really intelligent. So this is probably the best thing I've looked at here today so far. But again, This house was built when? I'm going to say this house was built in 1991. So it's a little dated, but I do like the blue. Let's go through the pictures here. And oh, they redid it all inside with a nice ladder up to the loft. Okay, let's have a look here. Oh, it's nice. It's going to sell. Oh, yeah, this one's sold. Yeah, spring market right now in Japan right now. Market's hot. This one's going to move. So, yeah, so you see, this is not much money either. In given the sort of backdrop of the world uh, right now with all this sort of currencies like value deflating and the hard asset value inflating, is this really all that much money? $400,000 Canadian to be near the beach? No, it's not. This is a good deal. Someone's going to pick it up. Oh yeah, I like that one. And then yeah, that's all we got for the pictures. Now, what are they saying here? That's the school, right? They're communicating the idea of the school. Come down here to the details of the listing, and then 20 minutes from Chigasaki Station itself, and then 4280 man, which is 4,280 man, two toilets. Uh, what did I say? Three burner. Again, a three burner. All the systems, of course, here are working. Do we have a year on this house? I'm really wanting to see if I'm right. Okay, I was a little wrong. Okay, built in 1999, but you know, with the 25-year progression right now, you could see already that the house design is even better than it was then. 66 meters of land, 66 meters of internal space in terms of the building right there, ownership right there. So yeah, this sort of uh, currently vacant, but this one sort of ticks all the boxes. It has parking right there. Chushajo Ari. That means ari, arigato. That's the same. Doesn't mean aunt, but that is another word. Ari-san means aunt. Okay, we've seen the location of it there. It's right down here, right near the beach park. Okay, we could take the Google Maps Golden Guy and land it in there. If I've actually done it, you can see it's a really nice neighborhood. Where's that blue house? Where's the blue house? Come on, Tokyo Real Estate, man. Where is this blue house? Did they paint it yellow? I thought it was a blue house. Is that it right there? Is that it right there? And they changed it to yellow? Or took it from blue? I think that might be it right there. That says it's it right there. Let's go to the top pictures. It was blue. Now it's yellow. But yeah, they've updated it. I'm thinking they've updated it. I'm not sure. It's going back on down here to where that is. He said that's the same house. Yeah, but it even looks even better. And they got I think they have an improved balcony on there. Yeah, so it's even better. What else could we look at here that you could look at? Let's back it up right here. And you can see why do Japanese people want to be here? Why do they want to be here? Let's take the Google Maps Golden Guy and drop them down here, right here on the beach. It's a very beautiful beach park right there. And yeah, that's where people want to be. And oh, you can see, what do you see there? That's Fujisan. I just randomly, you can see it. So when you see that sort of very famous painting, the wave that Hokusai did, that's sort of like now the icon of Japanese sort of art and stuff like that. You can see this was the image he had. It was done the waves of Kanagawa. That's Kanagawa. There's Fujisan. This is like Chigasaki Beach. So yeah, it's great. The other thing that we could look at to end this video too is to understand the real estate market in Japan and stuff like that. You have to understand the financing behind it. So a Japanese family right now who wanted to buy this house right there, okay, they are going to be able to finance it for. I'll just do this really quickly. They're going to be able to live in this house for basically 1,200 Canadian dollars a month, or 120,000, or 12,000, or no, 112. Oh God, I don't know how to do it in English in my head. 120,000 yen, okay, or in Japanese juniman, okay, with a drag. The drag on this every month is interest payments of $220 Canadian a month, okay, but that's not even that accurate. Let's change it up a little bit and say that they put 500 mon down, which is 50,000 yen. Let's say that, and they're living in this house for basically 1,100 Canadian a month. If coming from the United States with your super strong currency, they can live right by the beach in a nice house with everything they want, okay, for $800 a month for their mortgage payments. What are your payments going for in the United States? $3,000-$4,000 a month. Here in Vancouver, if you want to be in downtown Vancouver in a baseline apartment, baseline means bottom end apartment, your mortgage is going to be $3,500 a month. You're escaping all the sort of pressures when you coming into uh, this sort of Japanese real estate market, because you don't have to. You can still get the quality, okay, without the hugely financialized prices, unless you come into central Tokyo right now, which is crazy. Anyways, uh, another video here from the Tokyo real estate man, coming to you today from the streets, or looking at the real estate here in Chigasaki market. Try to advance this video. He's just touring around the city. He didn't go down to the beach. I was hoping he's going to go down to the beach, but just walking around the city right there. You see, it has everything. Very, very beautiful station. Great area to be in. Interested in real estate in Japan, you can always come here to my Instagram. Let's hope that it kicks up here. Yes, Tokyo Real Estate Man website. Here's my Instagram. You can always DM me there. Oh, there's my Volkswagen bus right there. I think and failing that, you can always come here to the website, Tokyo Real Estate Man website. I always have all my contact information in the show notes anyways. You can either use this email here on top, or you can use this contact box. Both are indeed working. いつもこのチャンネル見てるの皆様ありがとうございます. Thank you for taking the time to watch this channel and watch this video today. 今日の動画、茅ヶ崎でもう終わりです。ありがとうございます。